Lia Marie Johnson first became known to the public back in the very beginning of YouTube when it just started to become a thing. She appeared on Kids React as a kid, which was super popular back in the day, and then on Teens React, and then eventually on YouTubers React. She was a part of the OG original YouTubers, and she went on to start a music career and was signed with a really good record label. Then she pretty much fell off the internet, and it seemed that she was going to focus way more on her music career, and that's why she wasn't posting as much anymore. But then some really disturbing things that were happening behind the scenes began to surface. This story is now making a full circle, which we will be talking about, but I'm just gonna give a trigger warning as some of the topics that we will be discussing in this video are quite serious. Lia was a part of the first YouTube generation of teenage YouTubers who first gained popularity on the platform. It was a really exciting time for these teenagers who rose to fame on YouTube. They were moving to LA and starting this really glamorous life in Hollywood, and the whole internet was watching them go through this exciting time. But it turns out that as much as it seemed fun on screen, YouTubers years after that came out and spoke about how dangerous it actually was, being as young and vulnerable as they were, and all of a sudden being introduced to partying and drinking and powerful people in the industry, which I don't know if you noticed, but Hollywood can be really tough on people. And it does seem that a lot of them were kind of alone in this experience. Lia moved to LA and began to act on TV shows at the time and collab with other YouTubers. She then officially started her music career and was signed with Capitol Records. She was also dating JC Keelan at the time from O2L, and they broke up eventually, but it seemed like they stayed friends for a while. Then over time, ended a lot of YouTube friendships and seemed to hang out with different people. She started to lean more on her music career and pretty much stopped posting on social media. Around that time, Lia took to posting lives on Instagram, which seemed to have been the only place that she was active on social media. And the things that she was posting on there became really concerning.
I don't even know my name. I'm just kidding. Humans are definitely worth understanding. I think I look like I'm on drugs right now. Think about when I'm 40. I'll really look like I'm on drugs then. And bitch, I will be. I'll be on hella good drugs, or I'll be sober as a beautiful pear in the summertime. I will be so fucking clean. Who fucking knows?
She would frequently look to be under some kind of an influence on some kind of substance, and people were really starting to wonder if she was okay, and her fans were really getting worried. On January 2nd, 2020, Lia goes live on Instagram. The content of the following video can be triggering and hard to watch, so be advised.
What is this? With all the
Nothing.
flames going. No, tell
No,
me the truth.
that's
What
just
is
a
it?
live.
It's what?
That's a live. That's not even an Instagram.
What is it? Live stream?
No.
What is it? Tell me the truth. I'm hijacking your phone for...
In this live, Lia seems highly intoxicated in a recording studio with another person. You can't really tell what's going on at the beginning because she's being pulled aside, but there is evidently someone else in the studio with her. They were seen kissing and he was touching her. The man can be heard asking if she was live and her answering that she wasn't. This guy was clearly not happy to find out that this was being recorded, and it was all the more scary to hear her deny it, as though she was scared of him finding out. He was heard saying that she needs to turn it off and saying that it's bad for him if this gets out. The guy then takes the phone and I guess meant to shut it off, but posted it instead because I guess he didn't know how to use it, but not before he was caught on camera. And that's how people found out that the man in the live is allegedly Steve Weatherby, a music producer that was working with Leia Lia since she was 15. It does look a lot like him, and people also did a voice match too, and they were in a recording studio which he was known to work at. This record producer deleted his entire social media immediately after this was posted, and she continued to post lives after that, talking about her life and her feelings. And she was seen with a new guy that people were also skeptical about, and continued to appear in really bad shape. And people did try to reach out to her and help. Tana Mojo even tried to reach out to her. She entered Lia's live stream a couple of times and tried to get in contact with her. And she also posted saying, "How do we help Lia Marie Johnson?" To which Dominic DeAngelis responded. He was in Lia's friend circle back when she was dating JC Keelan, and he said, "We've tried, I've tried. Her friends aren't real friends anymore, and she hasn't replied to me countless times. I don't know who's close around her, but someone has to step up." After a few really dark years, Lia is finally speaking about what happened to her and what she experienced behind the scenes.
Hi, my name is Lia, and in this video I'm going to tell you my story. Before I start this new chapter of my life, I want to clean the slate and get things off my shoulders. I feel like I owe that to myself, to those who love me, and to those who have supported me over the years. My story has been misconstrued, exploited, sensationalized, but now I'm taking my narrative back and I'm going to tell you my story.
She posted a video to her YouTube channel called "This Is My Story," where she's talking about what happened to her, the people that she met, and her journey, and what the last few years have been like for her.
I've always had a passion for life and a taste for freedom. When I was 17, I moved to Los Angeles alone to pursue my career. I worked hard and focused on my passions, but I was living in a whole other world when the sun went down. I was drinking, using drugs, and partying almost every night. My lifestyle became more dangerous as the years passed. I was truly on a collision course. Life isn't always easy, I just never knew it could be so hard. I could count on my fingers the amount of people I could trust, but I was young and naive. I was in a relationship with someone who I thought I loved, but even that changed when he put his hands on me and strangled me. I was so young, I didn't know what to do or how to speak up, so I stayed quiet. I don't think I ever told anyone.
She is talking about the early days of her YouTube career in LA and being a part of this group of teenagers, being introduced to fame for the first time, partying and drinking and whatnot, and the dangers that she became exposed to, unprepared and unprotected in Hollywood, and how it all got out of hand, and she found herself in places that she never meant to get to.
There was pain and loneliness in my life that not even drugs could fix, so when I was 18, I had my first suicide attempt. The worst part was spending time in psychiatric wards due to falling into drug-induced psychosis. Drug-induced psychosis, for those of you that don't know, is awful. Your reality warps, you can hallucinate for days, weeks, and sometimes for the rest of your life. Now it's 2019 and I had gone off the deep end. I didn't understand why my abuser wouldn't leave my life and why I would always take him back in after what he did to me. It was an endless cycle. When I was alone, which was quite a lot, I began making Instagram lives while I was drunk and high, and how I acted was the downfall of all I had worked for in my life. All it was a cry for help, and people did try to help, but nobody knew I was being abused, and my story got twisted, and I was still all alone. Soon after this, my producer at the time took me to the studio one day all alone. He knew I was early and fragile in my sobriety, but he encouraged me to drink, and I did to the point of intoxication. He then tried to take advantage of me. He kissed me without permission, and I couldn't get out of the situation, and I was scared something more would happen if I didn't reach out for help. So I did an Instagram live, and he was caught. However, it did cause further damage to what people thought of me, and again was misconstrued publicly.
Sadly, it seems that what a lot of people speculated was true. And a lot of the time she was on Instagram Live as sort of a safety measure because she was scared of the places that she was and the people that she was with.
I was outside of a rehab on the street with a suitcase and I had nowhere to go. She came immediately and brought me to her apartment where her family lived with her. Charlotte said, "You're going to live with us and I'm going to get you sober." So I did live with them in the apartment.
I thought it was the kindest thing anyone had done for me in a long time. I slept on her couch, and I loved being surrounded by so much love. I was sober, but I relapsed periodically, but I was always forgiven and given support and another chance. I'm so blessed for that chapter in my life, and it truly saved my life and gave me a foundation to grow again. I tried almost every single drug you can think of and lost everything I had. I've been to jail, psych wards, and rehabs. I've slept on the street, and now I can tell you that the one thing that saved me was love, real love. That's why I'm here, because love is so powerful. Love is the reason I'm alive.
She explained how she eventually was able to get help and that people who love her helped her, which is exactly what people were hoping would happen.
Now, as I come to the end of my story, I want you to know that it's not the end, but the beginning of something beautiful. I met someone special. His name is Charlie, and I am happily in love. We decided to move to England, to a quaint town with lots of land. I paint a lot, I make music, I write, and I'm sober. So far it's 10 months, and I hope to get a year. I've never felt so free. I have my first new song out in a while on Friday, and I'm excited to be doing what I love again.
And she's been receiving a lot of love from both fellow YouTubers and fans who are so happy to see her doing better. Obviously, I'm so happy to see her come out of that and to see her reflecting and taking back her own narrative. I think everyone just wants to see her doing better and being happy and safe. It's important to talk about stuff like that with awareness and compassion, and so I'm sending love to her. But yeah, let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.